saw some amazing vision boards and vision videos. I'm still waiting for others to make.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't
Shivani,
yet
I made two
get those
vision
very
boards,
soon.
but I want to make some more. I enjoyed the process very much. It was great fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make some more, put some more details, especially my travel one. I am very happy with it because I found a logo for passport with visa stamping and then a bag. I have no way of sharing it here. I don't know how to share screen here. Otherwise, I
Hmm.
could have shared. It was a really lovely one, and
Share
I
it in
just
the
put,
group, na? You can
yeah,
share in
five
the
six
group with me.
people, yeah. Then I found one logo of a suitcase, with all those travel stickers and all, So all of that I have put. Then
Nice.
passports with two boarding passes and a picture of me and my husband.
Wow.
So, so I really enjoyed it very much. We both are very fond of traveling.
Yeah.
So it
Shivani,
was.
I want to share something here.
Hmm.
In the first session, you had told us to write our dreams and manifestations which we wanted, right? So there, I had mentioned about I wanted a good digital platform people who can help us with all the technical things. Okay, that was one of my desire, and I had written it down. I told you that I've written all my dreams and manifestation, and I keep it in my pillowcase.
Hmm.
Okay, and now that came true. I found such a nice guy. I had a little issue with my website and everything to be fixed, and he did it so fast, so quickly, and a fabulous guy. He's just like just one ring, and then he's there.
Wow.
In this 2 months
Any
of the class started, and I
Wow,
awesome. And
really?
yeah.
and Purnima, you stole my word. I was just going to ask any magics anybody has seen in their life. I'm seeing, after 5 years, I'm going to Bangalore because I've not gone for one reason or the other.
Okay.
So I've been telling my friend throughout the year, okay, I'll come, I'll come, I'll come. Now my tickets are in my hand, so I can say I'm going.
Fabulous.
Lovely
Hmm.
time to go also, February.
Yeah.
Hmm.
For me, Bangalore anytime is good.
Yes,
Okay,
for me also.
so anybody else has seen any dreams come true?
Yeah,
Any?
for me, I think Purnima only told about the maid, how she got.
Yeah.
Same has happened with me. I found such a nice replacement at a lesser cost.
Oh my God. That is a blessing in disguise, it is.
Yes, yes. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. I'm going to give her more gifts, if she doesn't, she was okay with the money I gave her. So I
Uh,
thought that she's giving so much, if she frees up my time like this, very clean, very
uh,
nice, very organized. You should tell I cannot come before this time, but I'll come at this time and I'll do all of this. It's very
mm-hmm.
clear. So I'm very happy about that. So and she told me that the housework is too much for me, and so then I decided I should, cut off a portion of her work, the work that was there, and give it to another person. She was very relieved because I did something like that. She didn't know how to say no to me. So I
Hmm.
guess all three are happy. So this was really lovely. As soon as you told me, no, I was feeling, हाँ मुझे भी ऐसे ही होना चाहिए करके. ನನಗೂ ಹಾಗೆ ನಿಮ್ ತರಾನೇ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ.
Finally.
Okay,
Ah,
perfect. Good, good.
yes.
So today we are going to do a very, very magical chapter. Um, I use this chapter a lot in my life, this practice. It's called Magically Heal Your Relationships. So, now a lot of times we have friction with people on day-to-day basis. Could just be very small thing, but we let it sit with us.
Hmm.
And people who are close to us tend to hurt us the most, right?
Yeah.
My expectation is always from people who is close to me, na, that he should have done like this, he should have checked on whatever, correct?
Hmm.
So this is a very easy chapter, I feel, a practice that the moment you feel that that hurt, or you feel that something little off beat has gone or is not going your way in that relationship, Let's quickly do this practice. So Purnima had shared last time her experience with this chapter. So we'll take it up again, Purnima, after the session.
Yeah.
But so far, I really use this very often, and that keeps my relationships at least stagnant and where it is. If not, it doesn't make it worst, which is also sometimes good in my mind. At least if it may not magnify it to make it very, very beautiful, but at least it, I'm not holding on to that. How did she say this off or whatever? Because sometimes somebody tells you off and you feel the pain about it and you carry it with you forever.
Mm.
So, who's going to read this amazing chapter? Who wants that magical relationship in their life? Come on, guys. Okay. Y'all want the relationship, so y'all are putting your hands to read.
Magical relation.
Yeah, I could use it,
So, okay, then I
Yes.
prefer new readers, but I think everybody just sits quietly. Kadambri, how about you reading today?
Actually, today we have only one device. So
Poor internet connection.
Okay, okay. All right, Anuradha, take it up.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, so again, I'm going to be sharing the screen, so please bear with me because it's not.
Shivani ma'am, I can share. I joined by laptop.
Okay, yeah, please do that then. So it'll save me the trouble of understanding whether it's shared or not. Right now, there's not sharing, na?
Just a second.
Perfect. Absorb the picture first. Just go a little higher, Abhishek. Let us see the whole pic. Yes, Anuradha.
Yeah, there's a picture, there's a frame, and there's a photograph, and there's all lines, and that like cuts or something. And then
It's a
there's a
cracked
candle, and then
It's a
this
cracked
dust,
picture.
Cracked picture, yes. Picture is all cut up or split, or the glass is split or something like that on the picture frame. And then there is a candle here next to it. Maybe at some point of time it was something, it was very dear, and now there's starlight falling over it as if it's getting blessed.
And this chapter is so magical when they're showing this. Even people who are separated have got back together by just doing this one practice. So there have been a
Wow.
lot of people who've shared amazing experiences in the sessions that on my teacher's session, and it's a very very amazing practice. And this practice forces you to uh, actually dig into the actual gold of a person. Normally, we're very materialistic or very superficial when it comes to, if I have to tell you, okay, tell me five qualities about your husband or your son or your mother or whoever it is. It's, you know, it takes us time, though that person is so close to us to talk about those people, right? Or is it easy for you? So this chapter makes you really dig into the person, into the relationship, into finding how that relationship has benefited you and how important and how beautiful that relationship can be. So, yes, Anuradha, let's start.
Okay.
Abhishek, let's go back to that day 15. Yes.
Magically heal your relationships. If you have a difficult or broken relationship, are suffering from a broken heart, or hold any resentment or blame toward another person for anything, you can change it through gratitude. Gratitude will magically improve any difficult relationship whether that person is a husband or wife, brother or sister, son or daughter, partner, boss, business client, work colleague, mother or father in law, parent, friend, or neighbor.
As we are going through the chapter, start thinking about the person you want to do this exercise with. The author has given us 8-10 examples over here of whom we could take, but you look into your life and see whom you would want to, whom you feel you have a difficult, broken, or you're having some kind of a resentment towards a person. Yeah.
When we are faced with a difficult relationship or a challenging situation in a relationship, in almost all cases, we are not in the least bit grateful for the other person. Instead, we are busy blaming the other person for the problems we have with them. And that means we don't have a shred of gratitude. Blame is never going to make a relationship better, and it's never going to make your life better.
Most of the time, when something goes wrong, I'll end up blaming the other person. He came late, so this happened. He did this, so that happened. She didn't ask me, so I got upset. I would have not got upset, but she didn't do this, that is why I got upset. So, till we are doing this blaming game, there's going to be constant, you know, uh, is showing that there is a lack of gratitude in that relationship.
Hmm.
And then we are slowly pushing that relationship away from us. Abhishek, you want to ask something?
Yeah, just want to ask for this relationship, can I take those one whom I don't talk now?
Yeah, you can wait for the chapter to get over before it'll answer all your questions.
Okay.
Yeah. In
In fact, the more you blame, the worse the relationship gets and the worse your life gets. Whether it's a current relationship or a past relationship, if you harbor bad feelings towards another person, practicing gratitude will eliminate those feelings. Why would you want to remove your bad feelings about another person? Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burnt. Gautam Buddha, circa 563 BC to 583 BC, founder of Buddhism.
so does we all know this. When we get angry, it does damage to me or to the other person more. Come on.
To
It
me.
damages me.
Yeah, that is why nowadays everybody says, na, forgive not for the other person. Forgive so that you are in peace. No,
Hmm.
don't we keep reading all these quotes? Because
Yeah.
holding on to anger or holding on to a grudge, holding on to, when we hold on to something, um, it's like a knot that we've tied. Like, okay, we are holding on to something very tightly. And that is the reason why we see cancers in our life.
Hmm.
If you know of anyone who is suffering from cancer, the first thing you need to tell that person is to release to all the emotions they are holding on to in their lives. All the diseases that we are hearing of, major cause are the built up emotions.
Hmm.
Very, very short tempered people. Anybody over here who are short tempered?
Used
Nobody
to
will
be.
say yes.
I used to be.
I still am.
So being short tempered is always putting your heart at risk. So if you study emotions with the body, functions, a lot of these emotions are, getting caught up in different parts of our bodies. That is why people talk so much about emotional well-being, spirituality, which is coming in of late. So, Nikita, whoever said, I am short-tempered. People who are perfectionists, Anyone here who's a perfectionist? Who like things in a particular way? OCD problems?
I'm less like it. Yes, my
Anybody who has
husband says that.
OCD issues?
My husband has, and
No,
he's
my
right
husband
next to me.
asks me how many times you're going
Who
to
is
wipe
this?
that
Who said
counter.
my husband has
Nikita.
OCD? Huh. So imagine
No, no, my
short-tempered
husband
and
asks me
OCD
how many
combination.
times you're going to wipe the counter in a day because that's the only thing I see you doing.
So these
Like,
are qualities which also in the long run harm our health. It takes us away from peace, these natures of ours. And then we build up anger, build up emotions, resentment, which in turn create suffering in different forms of diseases, cholesterol, XYZ. So that is why spirituality has become so big, and all these diseases have become even bigger because in the fast-paced life that we are living, all of us are going through all these emotions day in and day out. Okay.
bad feelings about another person burn your life, but gratitude will eliminate them. For example, if you have an ex partner who is connected to you through your children and the relationship isn't good, look at your children's faces and realize that they wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for your ex partner. Your children's lives are one of the most precious gifts you have. Look at your children and give thanks to your ex partner for their lives every single day, as well as bringing peace and harmony to the relationship. Through your example, you will be teaching your children the greatest tool for their life, gratitude. Or if you're suffering from a broken heart or grief due to a relationship having ended, you can use gratitude's magical power to transform your pain. Gratitude magically transforms emotional pain into healing and happiness faster than anything else. And the story of my parents is a perfect example of that.
So one second, I want to share an experience over here. Uh, can we go back to the previous page, Abhishek? So there was this one person whom I knew who was suffering from a broken heart from before his marriage. And after being 20 years in marriage also, he was not able to maybe forgive, forget, or get over that past relationship or broken heart. And because of which his relationship with his wife, with his daughter, were all not that great. And then when he chose to do this exercise with his past girlfriend from college days or whatever, magically his relationship, even with the wife and even with the daughter, became very, very beautiful. So at times when it's something in the past, like how Abhishek was mentioning that we don't talk to that person or whatever, but we're still holding on to that pain. We think it's over. I mean, I haven't seen that person in 20 years, and there is there is no healing that is needed, or there is nothing needed in that relationship. But that's not true. If that person has caused emotional pain, there is the healing that is required, and gratitude is the easiest way to heal yourself from that. Next page. You're muted.
My mother and father fell in love with each other virtually at first sight. From the moment they met, they were truly grateful to be with each other, and they had the most beautiful marriage I have ever seen. When my father died, my mother understandably suffered from enormous grief. After months of suffering, she began to use gratitude's magical power, and despite her immense grief and pain, she looked for things to be grateful for. She began with the past, and she recalled all the wonderful times of happiness she had received through the decades with my father. Then she took the next big step, and she looked for things to be grateful for in the future. One by one, she found them. She found on remembered things she had always wanted to do but didn't have the time to do when my father was alive. And with this courageous step of gratitude, opportunities to fulfill her dreams magically poured in, and her life became rich with happiness again. The magical power of gratitude gave my mother a new life.
Yeah, so this is another very beautiful example, completely different. This example is of a couple, the mother and father of the author, but basically they had a perfect marriage. They were absolutely incompatible and in love with each other. But when the father died, the mother was all alone, and then she was suffering from grief, which is very understandable. How could the woman get over the grief of losing her spouse? So that is also that this way she used it. So she was not unhappy with the relationship, but she needed to heal herself from the relationship, that now the lack of the partner in her life. Right? Did you understand the difference? The relationship was not estranged, or the relationship was not bad. The relationship was very beautiful, but for he was now separated because he's no more there. So now the wife started, instead of feeling, crying, suffering about him not being there with her, she started using gratitude's magical power to look for the things that she could be grateful for him. So what did she do? This is always the way gratitude is going to work for you guys. First, you have to go into the past, dig into the past, come to the present, and then go into the future. So she went into the past and she saw all the wonderful times that she had, and she spent very beautifully with with her husband. Then she looked for the things that she could be grateful for, that now that he's no longer there, there could be new openings for her, which maybe she was getting restricted being in that relationship. And then she did gratitude even for those things, that in the future, maybe, now she can go and live with her daughter for 2 months because she doesn't have anybody else to, like, doesn't have more responsibilities. So there are a lot of things like that. She looked and she found ways to be in gratitude for that relationship no longer being there in her life. So you can use it even in such a kind of a relationship.
For today's magical practice, you are going to look for a hot coal that is burning your life and literally turn it into gold through gratitude. Choose one difficult, problematic, or broken relationship that you want to improve. It doesn't matter whether the person is currently in your life or if it's a past relationship and the person is no longer in your life. Sit down
Abhishek, it
and
answers your question here. Yeah.
Sit down and make a written list of 10 things you're grateful for about the person you have chosen. Think back through the history of the relationship and the list the great things about the person or the great things you received from the relationship. The easiest way to do this is to think back to the way things were before the relationship deteriorated or ended. If the relationship was never good, then think hard about the good qualities in the person because they are there. This magical practice is not about who is right or wrong. No matter what you feel someone has done to you, no matter what someone said or didn't do, you can magically heal the relationship, and you don't need the other person in order to heal it. There is
So
gold.
again, you don't need the other person. So the exercise is only between you
Yes.
and that person in your mind. So don't go to that person and start doing it. It's only the only person you're going to deal with is yourself. okay? An imaginary other person. Don't go and say, oh, my husband sitting in front of me, I'll sit there only and I'll talk. My mother-in-law sitting in front of me, I'll just go and talk to her. No. Okay.
There is gold in every relationship, even the difficult ones. And to bring riches to all your relationships and to your life, you have to find the gold. As you dig and discover a nugget of gold, write it down, address the person by name, and express your sentence in gratitude. Name, I'm grateful for, and for what?
So the author is giving her example. She's also come from a broken marriage. So she's giving gratitude to her husband in now, her ex-husband as of now in this example. Yeah.
Paul, I'm grateful for our time together. While our marriage did end, I learned a lot. I'm so much wiser today, and I use what I learned from our marriage in many of my relationships today. Paul, I'm grateful for everything you did to try and make our marriage work because 10 years of marriage means you did try. Paul, I'm grateful for to you for our children. The joy I receive from them every day could not be without you. Paul, I'm grateful to you for the hard work and long hours you put in to support our family while I was at home taking care of our children. It was a big responsibility to have all of us dependent on you, so thank you. Paul, I'm grateful to you for the precious moments I had with our children as they grew up. I got to see our children talk and walk for the first time, and I know you didn't have that opportunity.
So
Paul, I'm
here,
grateful.
because the husband was at work, okay, and he was earning the money and bringing it into the house to take care of them, he was missing out on all the moments, the first moments, so he didn't get to see and spend that much time with the children that she got. So she's also being grateful for that, that when the child started talking, or the first time the child walked, she witnessed it, he didn't witness it.
Paul, I'm grateful for your support when I went through a difficult time of grief and loss. Paul, I'm grateful to you for the times when I was sick and you did your best to take care of me and the children. Paul, I'm grateful for the great times we had and we did have many. Paul, I'm grateful that you want to continue to be the father to our children. Paul, I'm grateful for your support and the time you went want to give to our children. I know they mean as much to you as they do to me. By the time you have finished your gratitude list of 10 things, you should feel much better about the person and the relationship. The ultimate point you want to reach is where you don't have any bad feelings toward the person anymore, because it's your life that is harmed by those feelings. Every relationship is different, and if need be, you may choose to repeat this magical practice over several days until you reach the point where you don't have any bad feelings toward the person anymore.
Yeah,
If you
so
are using
maybe just by doing 10 gratitudes, you may not come into a positive zone with that person. You just need to reach a stage with that person where there is no negative feelings towards that person. So if you have to, then keep repeating this magical practice with that same person till you feel gratitude towards that person genuinely.
If you are using gratitude's magical power to improve a current relationship, you will see the relationship begin to change miraculously before your eyes. It only takes one person to magically change a relationship through gratitude, but it is the person who uses gratitude who receives the benefits in their whole life. If you choose a past relationship
So
where you are If you chose a past relationship where you are not in contact with the person anymore, you will feel at peace and happiness fill you. And at the same time, you will see other current relationships in your life magically improve. In the future, if a relationship becomes challenging, remember to use this magical practice immediately. You will stop the difficulties before they get any bigger, and instead you will increase the magic in the relationship.
So this is what I follow. The moment I start feeling that this relationship may some drama is starting, before they start becoming into a drama, I start using this practice. Yeah.
Magic practice number 15: magically heal your relationships. 1. Count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as grateful for the blessing as you can. Choose one difficult, problematic, or broken relationship that you want to improve. Sit down and make a written list of 10 things you're grateful for about the person you've chosen. Write it down in the following way: name, I'm grateful for, and for what. Just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words: thank you for the best thing that happened during the day.
Thank you so much, Anuradha, for reading it.
Thank you. Shivani, I wanted to ask you a question. If
Yeah.
you want to do it for a couple, how do you do that?
Only one person, and after that, another person.
Okay.
Not the same day. Any questions? Anybody you could think of? No?
शिवानी,
हाँ,
ये 3 दिन लिखना है क्या? नेक्स्ट थर्सडे तक?
हाँ, लिख सकते हो आप।
यानी 10 10 10 into 3 30 पॉजिटिव
आपका
क्वालिटी।
रिलेशनशिप इतना अच्छा हो जाएगा। रिपीट कर लो, नहीं मिल रहा है तो। इट विल बी ब्यूटीफुल। नया
ओके,
ढूंढोगे, जितना खोदोगे। इट सेड ना, डिग इनटू द गोल्ड
अच्छा,
ऑफ दैट पर्सन।
ओके, ओके, थैंक यू।
या कम ऑन। Who anybody wants to share? Whom you can think of? Nobody can think of anybody.
I asked you, know that I want to say it about
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
couple. So for me, it's about them.
Hmm.
They are my business associates. And I also want to share one insight in this, that as we started, the relationship, went bad over about 6 weeks now. And I was feeling pretty upset about it because I've known them like before we had this business relationship. And they are upset with me that I didn't support in a decision that they thought I would go. And I said that I don't want to support them in that decision because it doesn't make business sense. So things have soured up for us very badly, and it's upset me that a single decision, should affect a relationship so much that we don't want to talk to each other, or that my contact has been deleted
Yeah.
from the phone.
This is what the book teaches us, na? The
Yes.
relationship for so many
And
years was very nice.
yes,
And there were
and
so
then
many good things.
yes, lovely. Even I got upset. But what has happened is, as we did all this magic practice and everything, I started feeling, that okay, that person is like that, so it doesn't mean I need to react also in the same way. So I remember for the good things, the good times we had, they were very generous. They're generally nice people, but it's a thing about competence. My decision is based purely on competence Okay, so they don't
So,
understand that.
Anuradha, stop.
Yeah. Ah.
No justification.
So, I just
The book
started
is
doing
also
that.
said we are not going to get into I was right, wrong. You're still debating that. You're still in that mind. See, here we are
Yes,
not talking about that person was right or you were right. Okay. That person could have been right or wrong. You could have been right or wrong. But we want to just heal that relationship. So
exactly. I
don't
did that
debate.
with his, when you told me once, I said, I'm not very sure about the customer. You told me you go and do chapter 6.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
I did that, those feelings reduced and I feel more calm. I don't feel any resentment. They did some other thing also, but it still doesn't upset me. I said it's that person's choice, whatever they want to do.
That's what I'm
So I
saying.
let
Now
go
don't
of it.
justify. Don't be that person did right, wrong, nothing. When you're
No, no.
doing this homework, we are
Hmm.
not, don't get into the debate. Don't debate
What
yourself.
about then where do ethics come? We are supposed to follow a code of conduct,
You
So,
no, we are not getting into all that. Right now, what you want to do is you want to heal that relationship for two
yeah.
reasons.
Hmm.
One, maybe that relationship is important and you want to bring it back to square one
Yes,
or
yes,
bring
yes.
it back to cordial. Okay.
Hmm.
Two, you want peace of mind. Okay. So these are the only two reasons why we are doing the practice.
Hmm.
Now, business ethics, this, that, we are not getting involved in all that. Because where you start using logic, magic will go away. Magic and logic don't go together. So you are trying to add magic into your life. Okay. So don't reason, don't get debate, nothing. Try this practice. Okay. And see how it helps you.
Yes. I'm sure it helped because once I sent them wishes, they had not seen it. Now they've seen it. I have come to know because I called someone to say she sent us greetings, and that person called me and told me.
So I'm saying now don't get into it. Don't have
Yes, yes,
discussions about it. Because
yes, yes.
then
I think
one
I'll just
one one negativity is 10. अब 10 कादम्बरी 30 लिखने में इतना स्ट्रेस है, वो कितने 300 जन को तो बोला होगा उसने, या 300 बार तो सोचा होगा उसने दिमाग में, और 30 ग्रेटिट्यूड लिखना है मुझे, और वो जो 300 जन को बोला है 300 बार दिमाग में 3000 बार घुमाया होगा, उसका क्या?
पहले तो बहुत दिमाग खराब होता था बिफोर ये मैजिक पढ़ लिया.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all of this.
Purnima, now you can share that experience that you have, so people will also understand.
Yeah. So this is my co-sister. So initially, when I was very new to the family, and I also came with a preconceived notion about her and everything. So, but then I was like, she's older than me, and then being respectful and all of that. But she was in a different game altogether. And yeah, things didn't work out, and it went very nasty and ugly between. Though there was not verbal arguments or anything, but it was very nasty. I could feel it, and it is very, very toxic. Though we moved apart, like and moved into different cities too, but it was so heavy and toxic in me. It was like literally something, a poisonous thing I was holding on to. Like it was like a tumor within me because it was not going with my nature. I was not able to be my own self, so it was just weighing me down. So then when we started doing this practice the last season, then I came across this chapter. Then I was really very hesitant even to ask Shivani. After the class, I quietly asked her, Shivani, I have something like this, and then what do I do? Then she said, just quickly do this one. And when I started, then okay, I went through the chapter and I had, guys, you won't even believe, I felt even to take her name, write it on paper, I felt dirty. Okay, now forget thinking about 10 good things about her. And I had to really think through, and then dig out certain things about her and write. and I had to finish 10. And I did it for 3 days, and then I said, okay, I've just like, being very religious and then do that homework and submit it. I just did it and then I surrendered. After that, finding those 10 things and all of that, I don't know what happened. This is true magic. Okay. I knew this person who she was for all these years, and with those 30 gratitudes, how can things change, right? And it really happened. I don't feel so much heavy at all. I didn't have her contact in my phone. Today I have a contact in my phone. Okay. And in the sense, I share greetings like in birthdays or something, anniversaries we wish. And if I happen to meet her and we come across, okay, I'm gracious and I'm cordial. I'll talk to her about how she is and whatever. That's it. Okay. Earlier I hated it. I just didn't want to look at her at all. It was like that. Today it is like, okay, yeah, she is in her zone and I'm in my zone, and then yes, so much better. And I feel good about myself now. Forget about what she feels. I feel good about myself. I feel aligned with myself now. It's no more bothering me at all. Absolutely fine.
Very, very beautiful experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
you suddenly raised hope in Anuradha. She was like, okay.
I have to say, next Guru is Purnima Award. It's Purnima, I'm coming to Bangalore.
Sure. To find those gratitudes about her, and she's a very finicky, and she's a, like
Okay, we
very,
don't want to complain. We don't want to complain.
yeah, to dig in and to find is a task, guys, but you should do it.
No, I'll find more
Come on,
than 10
guys.
things to write good because it's really beautiful. Why it was,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So I'll feel very happy writing all those gratitudes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this relationship was like, like heavy stuck for I think 20 years. Yeah, it is not like 3, 4 years, 5 years. It's about 20 years ka relationship. And then now I'm like, okay, at my peace. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't disturb me. I was able to gain back my peace and let go of all of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So are we done for this? Anybody has any questions? Anybody wants to ask anything?
Shivani, I just want to share one experience.
Yeah, Sham.
Yeah, it's not related to relationship, but yes, last week my son had a one minor surgery in one of the
Mhm.
hospital in Pune. So he has moved to operation theater OT at around in around 3 p.m. And I was sitting outside the OT. तो क्या करूँ मुझको एंड आई डोंट नो कि अंदर क्या चल रहा है कैसे क्या हो रहा है यानी when he will be taken to the operation table because many operations were lined up and they were taking the patient inside and just putting just बेड पे उनको लेके जा रहे थे सो फर्स्ट मैं अज्यूम कर रहा था कि मैंने सिस्टर को पूछा कि कब लेंगे वगैरह वो तो मुझको प्रॉपरली नहीं आंसर मिल रहे थे So I was just assuming and I'm sitting there and I was calling Kadambari and just telling her कि अरे अभी शायद अभी हो रहा होगा because she is in a pranic healing so मैं उसको बता रहा था so afterwards at 5 around a doctor called me I told doctor that you just whenever you are going to start please call let me know So he came at around 5 and he told me that now I'm going to start. So I was just then I started what I have to do. Then I just chanted for 5 minutes and just I thought about this magic practice. So I thought कि कुछ magic का ऐसा gratitude का कुछ लिखे करके. So and fortunately that diary, my diary gratitude journal was with me. So I just put it from my sack and I started writing all the gratitudes for that hospital and treatment. Everything from since morning, whatever I was experienced, I was putting it. Thank you, attendant. Thank you, nurse, and everybody from parking lot and everybody. So एंड मीन्स वो जो टेंशन रहता है ना, थोड़ा सा तो टेंशन रहता है. इट वाज वेरी माइनर सर्जरी बट थोड़ा सा तो टेंशन रहता ही है अपना. तो वो इतना निकल रहा था. आई वाज एट अ वेरी पीस एंड ऑल दैट बिकॉज आई वाज फीलिंग एंड ग्रेटिट्यूड लिख रहा था. तो मुझको बहुत पीसफुली मैं वो टाइम निकल गया मेरा. और एक तो ये एक्सपीरियंस बहुत अच्छा था. और दूसरा एक्सपीरियंस ये था कि जो उन्होंने डॉक्टर ने बोला था अराउंड इट विल टेक अराउंड 40 to 45 मिनट्स बट वो हार्डली वो आके मुझको पहले बताया और बाद में आके हो गया बराबर से ये बताने में जस्ट 30 मिनट्स में उन्होंने बता दिया था. 40 मिनट्स 35-40 मिनट्स. तो टुक ऑपरेशन टुक ओनली 30 मिनट्स विच वाज
Wow.
45 मिनट्स लगने वाले थे मुझको.
Hmm.
So that was also amazing this thing.
This is perfect. This is how you have to practice gratitude, guys. This is
Yeah.
how you have to bring it into your life. I should sometimes call my bua, my father's sister, on this call if she agrees to come. Unfortunately, my Fufaji has been paralyzed for the last 5 years and over 5 years. And she is always in and out of the hospital. Okay. And she's been into the magic book practice now for almost 3 years with me. And she only sits in the hospital and gives gratitude. I mean, I've never seen somebody doing better gratitude than that lady. She is sitting in the hospital. She'll give gratitude to all the instruments, to the nurse, and to the kind of development that science has done that, he's able to even go for those physiotherapy. So even if I tell her that you must be getting bored, she takes him for speech therapy, she takes him for physiotherapy. Her life is all about him. And she's
Hmm.
like, you've taught me one good thing, that bas thank you bolte jao. So whatever is happening with that person, like the moment is a machine, she'll say thank you. अच्छा वो जो invent किया उसको भी thank you. अच्छा है ना ऐसा machine invent किया तो आज मेरे husband को काम आ रहा है. So it's an amazing person to how somebody can turn an whole hospital experience into gratitude. And her husband used to be in ICU, he used to be in the hospital, and every day she used to be available in the class. She's not missed a class. She's done the magic book at least, I think, 5 times with me. She's like, whenever you do it, you get me into the class. I just come to do it. So
Hmm.
I think people like can really use this practice and they use it so well. And Sham's such a perfect example. And I mean, I feel good that you're my student and I like एक जन को तो अच्छे से सिखा दिया है gratitude, कि when their life is difficult, how to use gratitude. Normal में everybody writes, but then when something happens in their life, they still get stressed. They don't land up using gratitude. So it's like it happened with me. Even I had forgotten after being in this practice so long. My father had a health condition and it was very severe. And for I rushed him to the hospital and then he was going to be put on a ventilator. वो ventilator का नाम सुन के only, I mean, मेरा हाथ पांव सब ठंडा हो गया था. Then I was talking to my sister on the phone and I was calling my entire family ki I don't care, I just need all of y'all to come down to Bombay. And she just told me, y'all are magic believers. Why are y'all talking negative? I was like, catch the earliest flight. She's like, my son, she has an infant son who was 6 months, 7 months old. She's like, I don't have a visa for him. I'm like, leave your child, doesn't matter. Your father is more important. You have to come. So she's like, you and me, like, my father is also a magic follower. So she's like, y'all are magic believers. Y'all are becoming negative. And that one sentence hit me so badly that from morning I've only created negativity in that in that situation and being alone, and I was not able to handle it. The moment she told me, it was like, a reality check. And then I started working back, went back to gratitude and spirituality and everything. And he's absolutely fit today. So when there is a situation, to be able to do it gets more challenging.
Yeah.
And you need to keep reminding yourself that there is this thing that we've all learned. So sometimes you need, somebody to one on your head, give it to you.
Yeah.
So I got that at the right time that day. But yeah, so it's beautiful, Sham. I'm so happy.
Thank you, Shani. Thank you. एक्चुअली फील्स वंडरफुल जब भी हम लोग सोचते हैं ना, हॉस्पिटल में जब मैं ये कर रहा था, थोड़ा सा तो रिसेंटमेंट रहता ही है कि कुछ एवरीथिंग इज नॉट परफेक्ट। तो उसके बाद जब मैंने लिख दिया तो आई वाज स्टार्टेड लुकिंग एवरीथिंग, सब सब मुझको अच्छा लगने लगा। अरे एटलीस्ट ये तो है ना, तो फील ग्रेटफुल फॉर दैट। देन तो माइंडसेट चेंज हो जाता है पूरा इससे।
Yeah. Beautiful.
So, Shivani, in
Yeah.
this chapter, it talks about to write 10 gratitudes for a broken relationship or a difficult one. So, if I can't think of any such relationship, so I can write for anybody then?
Yeah, you can. It need not, see, it need not really be very negative also. Like how I was sharing in the beginning of the class, that before anything, just something small happened, somebody has said something and it hurt you, or some point that, you something nahi hua, you can even just take that in mind and just write it so that thing gets erased from it.
Okay.
It can even be for your, like, even how she wrote for her spouse who's no longer there. There's no negative relationship, right? It was a very beautiful
Mhm.
relationship, but she found positivity out of that relationship as well.
Okay.
Acha, one other, Abhishek, we can end the recording.
Okay.
The other one more request